So talk to me, Zach, because obviously you're a huge Dodger fan, and
Uh-huh.
the winter meetings just wrapped up, and as a
Yeah.
Ranger fan myself, it was they put myself. Bleacher Report always does this where they have the winners and losers, right?
Oh, you
And
guys are the losers,
and
right?
Texas and LA were both losers, and I wanted to kind of get your perspective on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, first off, winter meetings didn't go as what everybody was hyping for either of our teams.
Yeah.
Dodgers were in on Rendon and Cole, and Rangers were in on Rendon. Um, but as a Dodger fan and a realistic Dodger fan, not one that's like those that think we can just go out and spend all this money and everything on Cole and Rendon. I don't see this as a fail winter meeting. Um, and I see that for multiple reasons. One, we ended up getting Blake Teran. I think that's how you say his last name. Who's gonna be in the bullpen? We got him for a year, 10 million. And then we met with the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs about potential trades.
Okay. So I wanted to
And
talk to you quickly since we're on the topic of Rendon. I know there was an offer made. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Dodgers made an offer on Cole, but did not make an offer on Rendon, or am I have that switched?
that that's what I'm hearing. So Dodgers pushed the max we would go for Cole was 300 million.
Okay.
And we've always said we have a set price that we're going to spend on a certain free agent. And then once we missed out on Cole, our we had a list of about I think I saw it was like 10, 15 players that aren't Cole or Rendon that we feel like can make the Dodgers that we feel like we can make a run again.
Yeah.
And so once we lost out on Cole, we met with Rendon, and it seemed like Rendon wasn't going to want to come to the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we just took him off our list basically, like just and focused on, like I said, we talked with the Indians and the Cubs about potential trades, and we also met with the Brewers as well. So it sucks that we didn't get either of them, but I'm optimistic because of some rumors and news that came out for the Dodgers that I'm ready to shock you with.
Hit me.
So the Dodgers are in talks with the Cubs for Kris Bryant.
Okay. And what do you think? What would you guys have to give up? Like, I'm assuming they want prospects.
Yeah, so realistically for me
Be
and
realistic here.
something,
Be realistic
yeah.
on what you think you'd have to give up.
So realistically, what I think that we'd give up is our number three prospect and catcher, Kerbert Ruiz,
Okay.
who we won't really need Ruiz anymore. We have Will Smith. We have Austin Barnes still as well. So we have catcher depth. Um, our top infielder prospect, Jeter Jeter Downs, which we got in the Puig trade. He's a shortstop,
Okay.
but he can also play second base. So we have Corey Seager and we have Gavin Lux at second base. So those two are locked down for years. And then I see us throwing in DJ Peters, who's an outfielder. We have way too many outfielders. And then a relief pitcher, Dennis Santana, who he pitched in the majors one appearance last year and ended up going on the DL with a rotator cuff injury. And then Edwin Rios as well. I feel like realistically, that's who we would have to give up for Kris Bryant. So we'd give up five players for Kris Bryant, all prospects. Kerbert Ruiz, Edwin Rios, and Dennis Santana, all MLB ready talent prospects. And so I think that that makes the most sense for us. And for the Cubs get salary on Bryant's. They get five young players who are good. They get a replacement for the future in Bryant and Edwin Rios. And then who knows what they're going to do with Wilson Contreras. They'll get a catcher there. And then the Cubs always need pitching, I feel
Yeah.
like.
What
So,
about
I
you
mean,
guys in pitching? Because isn't
so
Rich Hill's a free agent?
yeah,
And how do you say? You said you called me out for saying his name incorrectly. Ryu.
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 Ryu,
Okay.
yeah. So Ryu's a free agent. I feel like Rich Hill, he's gonna last on the market for a while because he ended up getting injured.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can re-sign both of those guys.
Okay.
Um, and we'll give Ryu probably, I'd say, realistically, I say we give Ryu 4 years, 76 million.
Okay.
Rich Hill, I see us giving him a 1 or 2 year deal.
Okay.
And then with that being said, or we ditch Rich Hill and we go after, we're in talks with Madison Bumgarner,
Yeah.
and we're in talks, and I've heard rumors speculating about Dallas Keuchel. This offseason for the Dodgers, I'd be happy if we pull that trade off that I mentioned for Kris Bryant. We re-sign Ryu. We get either Bumgarner or Keuchel, and then we're in talks with Betances, the
Okay.
former reliever from the Yankees.
Since
So that bolsters our bullpen with Blake and Dylan, and then the starters as well.
because I was reading another Dodgers rumor, and I don't know if you've heard about this one, but it was that the Yankees, Dodgers, and Mets are all in the market for Josh Hader. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen that.
that's
Is that
I mentioned we're somewhat in talks with the Brewers.
yeah?
Um,
How do you feel about that?
Hader, I like Hader. I mean, I've watched Hader a lot. I had the MLB package last year, and I'm going to get it again this year. And so I watch all baseball I can, and
Yeah.
usually all sports. And Hader's a great pitcher. I mean, like he won reliever of the year last 2 years, I
Yeah.
want to say, or something like. The thing about him is like I don't see him fitting in with us
Okay.
as much as like Betances does, because we already have Jansen, who would be our closer, Joe Kelly, and then we got Blake Teran. I think
Yeah.
I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. That right there is a 7th, 8th, 9th. So I don't see Hader wanting to go to like an 8th inning because we're gonna obviously have Kenley be our closer.
Yeah.
So I see us getting Betances,
Bro, and
and then
Betances
also
is so good when he's healthy.
he
That guy is
is,
unbelievable.
yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of players out there that are either older or just coming off of injuries. I mean, Josh Donaldson,
Yeah.
who the Rangers, I mean, you missed out on Rendon. You could get
Yeah.
Donaldson.
Bro, I just correct me
But
if I'm wrong, because I right now I have like the top 50 MLB free agents, but I just feel, and I'm not trying to diss Josh Donaldson or Grandal or Bumgarner, but I feel like after the top three, Rendon, Cole, and Strasburg, it drops off. Would you agree with that or no?
I would. I mean, it it definitely drops off. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of going to be like going back like NBA, the off season this year. There's going to not be any free agents
Yeah.
really. I mean, like last year was high for free agents with Machado, Harper, everybody. Like last year's MLB was like last year's NBA, high
Yeah.
free agents, and then this year it's like you had those couple
But then it drops
players
off.
that
Yeah.
are there. Yeah, I mean the Rangers also, they made a trade with the White Sox, and I feel like the Rangers and the Dodgers weren't always necessarily going in there
Yeah.
thinking, oh, we're gonna sign. I think they wanted winter meetings. I always portrayed as you have a top guy that you're going to sign. If you miss
Hmm.
out on him, then you talk to teams, and that's when you discuss trades, and that's what helps with the trades, the winter meetings, and then that always carries on throughout the whole off season.
Where do you see Donaldson
Yeah,
ending up? Or is that too hard to predict right now?
it's I saw a report. It was Donaldson wants 4 years, 25 million a year at
Jesus.
least.
What?
Yeah, and it was just absolutely crazy for that. And I was just like, what? Like, don't get me wrong, Donaldson is a great player and he's good, but
But yeah.
he's older. He's like
Yeah.
not for. I don't want to lock that up. And
Yeah, he's 34.
oh my gosh.
So
Um, Yeah, so the Rangers were in on it, and then it came out saying he wants 4 years, 25 mil
I
a
think they
year,
pulled
and
back after that a little bit, right?
yeah, they decided to pull out
Which I have no
for
issue
now.
with. Like I have no issues with pulling back for that type of money for somebody, you know. Like I was all for the Rendon because of his production, and he's 29, but you know, nothing against Josh Donaldson, but 25 million a year seems kind of crazy, dude. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it kills me saying this, but I think the Angels got a pretty good deal with Rendon. What was it, 245 mil? Which is crazy to
Yeah,
say.
245 mil for
I can't believe those words
um
are coming out of my mouth that like that seems realistic, but I thought he was gonna get like 280, 290. I didn't think they were gonna get him for 245.
I think once the Dodgers pulled out,
Yeah.
then it was the Angels to lose. I mean, the Angels were just able to bid whatever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I I I always thought that the Rangers weren't gonna
Yeah, really.
go out there
I think it'd be one of
and
those things
spend.
if the Rangers were like an Anthony Rendon away from being World Series contenders, I think then maybe it makes sense. But even with Anthony Rendon, I don't think, the Rangers maybe we sneak in the playoffs somehow, but I don't think I'm just being realistic. There's no way we're getting by Houston or we're getting by New York or if you could choose, you only could have one of the two, Lindor or Bryant. Who would you want?
Bryant,
Bryant? Okay.
yeah, Bryant has 2 or 3 more years left on his contract. Um, we I would want Bryant because we wouldn't have to give up Gavin Lux.
Yeah. Is that your number one prospect?
Right now, yeah, he's our number one, and then Dustin May is our number two. So for Lindor, we would have to give up our number one and number two,
Oh,
basically,
okay.
in the reports. And I, I love Gavin Lux as a second baseman, and he played outstanding for us.
I wanted to bring somebody in that knows the Dodgers, and there's nobody that I know that, lives Dodger baseball more than Zach. So, Zach, appreciate you coming in, guys. I will link his podcast down below. I believe was I on the latest episode or 2 episodes ago?
Uh, as of right now, the latest one.
Latest episode, so I'll link it. Go check it out. We talk Chicago Bears football. We get quite animated, so make sure you guys do go over there and show some support. Zach, thank you so, so much for being here today. Again, guys, let me
Thank
know in
you.
the comments, who do you think what team do you support in terms of MLB baseball? We don't talk about it much. And also, who have you, signed or traded for? Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy MboneHD, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
More runs. Bryant in the air deep. Is it enough?